A lot of the visitors discover Waialua by accident. They're kind of coming north and they're not paying attention, and the next thing they know, they wind up at this intersection here and they see this old sugar mill and the gates are open and they just find their way inside. They end up learning a lot when they come here.
The soap making process takes about 6 weeks from start to finish to make soap from scratch. A handmade bar of soap is naturally antibacterial. It's very cleansing, it's naturally moisturizing. You start with oils. Back in the day it was lard. Today we use coconut oil, palm oil, we use soybean oil, olive oil, which is really great for your skin too. So we have a lovely 4-part vegetable oil base that we mix with lye, and that's the only way to make soap. When you mix lye with oils, it creates soap. That takes about 2 hours or so to mix, and then you pour it into a mold and it has to sit for about a week. Now once that mold gets nice and hard, we pass it through our cutters and make individual bars, and the individual bars will sit again for another 4, maybe 5 weeks depending on humidity. So it's about a 6-week process before the soaps are ready to be put in a box and on the shelf and ready to be sold.
They closed the sugar mill down in 1996, and when they did, this property was basically abandoned. And what happened was a lot of local people like myself came and rented out space, and they started making little homemade goodies here, really. So there's a bunch of surfboard factories here, all well-known guys. There's a community kitchen where they make a lot of these local jams and jellies and cookies, and the soap factory across the way. The papaya seed salad dressing just 2 doors down.
Mom actually developed the dressing originally. It was her personal recipe, and we produce it with everybody's help. My parents, my brother, my sister, my daughter, my wife. We prep the dressing, mix the ingredients in a large mixing vat, bottle it, cap it, label it, box it, and ship it out to distributors and stores statewide. We were growing salad and selling it at farmers markets, and I had a dressing that my mom makes, and we offered that with ready-to-eat salads at the farmers markets, and the customers just really enjoyed it. After a few years of getting just rave comments about the dressing, I thought, I got to do something with this.
After they closed the mill in '96, the rent was cheap. Nobody really wanted to be here, and so that's kind of what got a lot of these businesses out here. A lot of the surfboard makers, they're making boards in the backyards along Sunset Beach and the Haleiwa area. They slowly got pushed out of there, and they ended up here. So now the sugar mill is actually the center for surfboard manufacturing in the North Shore and also in the world, really. These guys are really world famous.
I've been in the sugar mill about 7, 8 years. Started out just making surfboards, and now it's kind of grown into a retail store. So we got surfboards and t-shirts, clothing, stuff like that. The basic goal that we had as Third Stone was to centralize all the local shapers on the North Shore and bring them under one roof. So anybody coming here who wants to get a board from a local shaper, they can come here and pick it out instead of trying to track them down at the beach or figure out. A lot of them, they're some of the best shapers in the world right here on the North Shore, but kind of hard to get a hold of.
We try hard to make them magical. That means they do everything on the face of the wave that you could dream up in your little mind through flats and V's and curves in certain dimensions and weight to strength ratio.
We've made boards for everybody. It's fun to actually be here because you get to see the Stokes. They're a world champion or brand new, first time they've ever gotten the board. They're stoked, and it's great to see, you know.
Waialua still has the quiet, quaint, beautiful Hawaiian setting.
We just thought it was a perfect location to be able to have a factory and then grow into an actual retail store where people could come and not just pick up their custom surfboard, but pick one out from the rack. So yeah, it was always a dream or a goal for us, and now it's just kind of being realized.
The sugar mill closed its operations in 1996. It was 2 years shy of 100 years in production. We came here to Waialua in 2001 and took this building, and we were so excited to have such an iconic building. After the sugar mill closed, many of the people moved away. Like an old mining town, the town just kind of lost its identity. Little by little, with more and more manufacturers popping up, bringing more commerce to Waialua has really helped put Waialua back on the map. We get together and do what's called Taste of Waialua. We have buses coming in now, we have visitors coming. There's lots of activity now in Waialua where, you know, when the sugar mill closed, it just kind of went to sleep. It's nice to see a rebirth, if you will, of Waialua.
The building that we're in is actually the original Bank of Hawaii building. It was built in 1917. We've been here since 2007. Now it's a place where we make t-shirts. I went to college in California at Chapman University, and my twin brother stayed here in Hawaii and started shaping surfboards. What started out as shaping ultimately led to putting artwork on surfboards, and I was going to school studying business. We kind of put the two together and figured t-shirts was going to be a great outlet to promote his artwork and a great way to make it mobile and put it on the bodies of people. Despite what a lot of my professors in college told me about staying on the mainland and doing it there, I wanted to come and do it in Hawaii, and more than anything, do it here in Waialua. Because as much as I wanted to advance forward with my future, I wanted also to be a support to the community. I think what Waialua has to offer is it's still a small community that just encompasses the whole aloha spirit. I think that the businesses that are here, there's more interaction for the visitors to get to see a bit of the hands-on production end of things that are happening and then go home with something to share with their family and friends. And more than anything, there's a bunch of smiley people waiting to meet them.
Waialua Sugar Mill is off the beaten track for the tourist, but it's a lovely place to visit, to come and see the flavor of the North Shore, to see how Waialua coffee and chocolate are made and soap is made. I think the tourists really come away with a nice appreciation of the North Shore and what we're doing here.
It seems like the quality of the visitors that find their way to Waialua, it's quite high. They're looking for something a little more authentic. Waialua and the old sugar mill, it's a little dusty and dirty and worn. People that find their way here, they appreciate that, and there's a certain beauty about this old town.